Sea of Okhotsk is a marginal sea in the northwest Pacific Ocean, located between the Kamchatka Peninsula in the east, the Kuril Islands in the southeast, the island of Hokkaido in Japan in the south, and the Russian mainland in the western north. Apart from being one of the coldest seas in the world due to its location, from 1991 to 2014, the Sea of Okhotsk had a hole in its centre that was under no single country's jurisdiction, an area known as the Peanut Hole. The Peanut Hole, or the international zone of the Sea of Okhotsk, was an open ocean area located in the centre of the Sea of Okhotsk, and between 1991 and 2014, its status was a topic of international dispute. The Peanut Hole, named because of its shape, measured approximately 55 kilometers wide and 480 kilometers long. It was situated within Russia's exclusive economic zone, or EEZ, which extends from the shores of the Kamchatka Peninsula, the Kuril Islands, Sakhalin, and the Russian mainland. However, it did not fall within Russia's default EEZ boundaries because it exceeded 200 nautical miles from any coastline. But what is an EEZ? An exclusive economic zone, or EEZ, is a maritime zone established by the 1982 United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. Within this zone, a sovereign state holds exclusive rights to the exploration and utilisation of marine resources. The EEZ extends from the outer edge of the territorial sea, which is 12 nautical miles from a determined baseline, to a distance of 200 nautical miles from the coastal state shoreline. Unlike the territorial sea that grants full sovereignty over the waters, the EEZ grants a sovereign right, specifically pertaining to the coastal state's jurisdiction beneath the surface of the sea, while the surface waters remain international waters. Therefore, EEZs do not imply full sovereignty, but grant specific sovereign rights and functional jurisdiction. Thus, given that the Peanut Hole fell outside Russia's EEZ, it was open for exploitation by any nation, and since the Sea of Okhotsk is known for its rich marine life, this meant it was an open fishing ground for any nation game enough to try. Consequently, starting in 1991, and as a newly independent Russia was preoccupied elsewhere, several countries engaged in significant fishing operations in the Peanut Hole, extracting potentially up to 1 million metric tons of pollock by 1992. This fishing gold rush in the Russian Far East was greatly summarized in an article published on August 20th, 1993 by Russian journalist
Yelena Matveeva.
39 Polish super trawlers burst into the central part of the Sea of Okhotsk, followed by 9 large South Korean trawlers and almost the entire Chinese fishing fleet. Somewhat later, fishing ships from Japan, Panama, Bulgaria and Ukraine appeared. A wild revelry began. Reluctant to observe elementary international fishing regulations, foreign fishermen set to clearing out the wealth of the Northern Sea. Russia viewed this as a threat by foreign fishing fleets to its own fish populations, as the fish migrated between the Peanut Hole and Russia's EEZ, a phenomenon known as straddling stock. In 1993, China, Japan, Poland, Russia and South Korea reached an agreement to halt fishing activities in the Peanut Hole until the pollock stocks rebounded, yet they did not establish a plan for future actions. Subsequently, the United Nations Straddling Fish Stocks Agreement, which came into force in 2001, established a framework aimed at facilitating cooperative management of straddling fish stocks. The Russian Federation petitioned the United Nations to recognise the Peanut Hole as part of Russia's continental shelf. In November 2013, a United Nations subcommittee acknowledged the Russian claim, and in March 2014, the full United Nations Commission on the Limits of the Continental Shelf sided with the Russian Federation. As a result, as of March 2014, the seabed and subsoil of the Peanut Hole are legally considered part of Russia's continental shelf, and the Peanut Hole ceased to exist. This has been me, Jack, and if you're fishing right now, please leave a comment down below.